your girl, Ashira Nelson, better known as Savvy Girl Money, honey. And this is my first time on IGTV. So welcome guys, and if you are new to my page, let me give you a quick introduction. I am on the journey to become debt-free. So Savvy Girl Money is actually recording that journey, and I'm sharing my processes, my experience with you guys through the Savvy Girl Money Instagram page. So welcome. Quick little bit about myself. I am a wife, mom, and CPA. I have learned a lot as a CPA. I have been in the accounting field for 7 years, but I've been a CPA for about 4 years now. Of course, I made the mistake, just like most college students, of taking out student loans. If I could do it again, I would grind my way through and not take out a penny. But I am not the same girl as I was in college. I will say I was very wise, but just not that wise. I was very conscious of how I was spending my money, but I still went down the path of taking out student loans. Honestly, because I felt like I had to. I had the mindset of, oh, everybody does it. I didn't take out a lot. Honestly, I only took out about $5,000 a year to cover my living expenses and really my basic needs. This didn't, I didn't go shopping with this money or anything like that. It was just to cover my basic needs. So my food and my shelter. But needless to say, I still have to pay off this debt, and I want to do it as quickly as possible. And I realized that in order for me to accomplish this goal, I have to have a budget. And this video right here is dedicated to giving you guys a recap of my July budget and let you guys know how my month actually went. Did I stay on track? How did I do with paying off my student loans? So let me go ahead and get started. I have my actual sheet here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can download this sheet from SavvyGirlMoney.com. It's free. This sheet is my monthly budgeting sheet. I use this every month. I record all of my money coming in. And that's money through my paycheck, my side hustles, just any money coming in. And then I record all of my expenses going out. This month I did something new. I kind of prioritized my spending, or my spending categories. I thought about what was important to me and what had to be paid and was like a top priority. Something I noticed this month was that I wasn't going to have enough income to cover all of my expenses. And that was because I had 2 special birthdays this month. My husband, he turned 29, and my daughter turned 5. And we don't do birthdays lightly in our house. Birthdays are a huge deal. We can skip out on, which we don't skip out, but we can skim our way through Christmas or any other holiday, but we celebrate our life the day we were born. And that's very important to us. So I had to keep that in the back of my head when I created my budget for July at the beginning of the month. So with that being said, I will just let you guys know now, I planned, my husband and I threw my daughter a weekend birthday celebration, which we didn't have to go so hard, but we just created a budget for it and we just worked our way through it, and we had an awesome time. So we did her birthday party, or birthday weekend celebration, and I also planned a trip to Atlanta for my husband. We decided to do Atlanta because he had been talking about going to Atlanta all year, and what better time was it to go than for his birthday? And we just got back from Atlanta probably about 3 days ago, and I wouldn't take back a penny that I spent. A budget at the beginning of the month, and I told myself what I could spend for each of these different events. And I will say that I didn't do bad. But let's jump into the numbers. I don't like to spend too much time on my budget because I don't want to bore you guys. So let me just run through everything and let you guys know how I did. So my mortgage, it went as planned. Those are one of my high priority items. We go 50-50 on the mortgage, and we did exactly that. We paid our mortgage. Next was my auto. My auto payment is $349 each month. And of course, I paid that on time, got it out of the way. My mortgage and my auto are both on auto draft. I don't have to think about it. All I have to do is just have the money in the bank account every month. Next up is my auto insurance. This month, I actually caught a break being savvy with my cash and shopping around. So I lowered my auto insurance. Actually, last month, I switched over from Progressive to State Farm. So I went down, what was it? I was paying probably about $125. So then I went down to $80. And then at the beginning so that happened last month. And then in July, I also brought over my homeowner's insurance from Progressive, and that lowered my auto insurance even more. So I budgeted $80, which was the agreed upon price last month for my auto insurance. But actually with the new discount, I only paid $58. And I'm so happy because I actually got my husband's down even more. So we don't have a lot of ways to increase our cash. We do have some ways through a couple side hustles and little things that we do to increase our cash, but it's not consistent. So we consistently find ways to reduce our cash. And one of the big things was our auto insurance. So I'm so proud of myself for really getting that down. And I will do a video to discuss further on how I did that. So stay tuned for that video. Next up was my gas. And that's gas for my vehicle. I budgeted for $150, and I was doing awesome until July 29th. I had just came back from Atlanta and I needed to fill up. I didn't want to do it, but I also didn't want to ride around on E. I knew by filling up one more time, I was going to go over budget, and I did. So I budgeted $150 and I went over by $30. I'm not too upset about this, but I will be conscious and intentional with my spending and my driving next month. I will pay very close attention to this category to make sure that I only fill up 3 times in a month to stay on budget. That's the key. And next up is my restaurants. If you have followed me in the past on my YouTube channel, you know that restaurant and groceries are my hardest thing to budget. I just refuse to increase my budget, and I just stay on top of myself to make sure that I am conscious about those categories. I try to stay on top of my restaurant. I budgeted $200 a month for restaurant, and I actually came under budget. Hey, I only spent $175 this month on restaurants, and I'm very proud of that. I struggled with that category in the past. If you go back to my June budget, I probably was way over. So my grocery budget, I budgeted $200 for my groceries, and I spent $250. I just gotta keep working there. My goal is only to spend $200, and I don't want to increase this category, but if I do bad again next month, I have to increase it, because that means that my true budget is not $200. It's probably more like $250, but I'm going to try again next month to succeed at this budget. If I don't succeed in August, I'm just going to change it in September and alter another category. So let's see. Next up is entertainment. Entertainment, unfortunately, guys, I budgeted $100 and I went over by $20, and I know exactly why or how I did this. I'm actually planning to have a girls trip to a winery, and the tickets were $20. And I just bought this ticket on Groupon probably about a week ago. And before I bought it, I looked at my category, my entertainment category, and I knew I was already at budget. So ideally, I really should not have done it, but my sister told me how I would save $5 by getting it now, because regardless of the fact I was going to have to get it. So I got it anyway, went over budget, but I did save $5 because regardless of the fact I was going to have to get it, I'm not too proud of myself for that. I could have just waited till August because I'm not going to the event until August, but I did want to save the $5. So you kind of got to give and take. Do I purchase now, save $5, or do I wait a couple weeks and pay $25? Luckily, I did go under budget in some other categories, so overall, I'm not too happy with myself, but I'm gonna ease up on myself a little bit. I'm not gonna be too hard. And then I have my home improvement category. I budgeted $50 for that, and I had to finish up some work in my front yard on my flowers, and I actually planted a garden this month, what I was very proud of myself. But I budgeted $50 and I really spent $80, and I will tell you guys why. My dog, little Diego, I'm not sure if I ever mentioned him here, but my dog, he got in my plants. Yeah. My husband, he replaced most of them, but I still had to go out and get some other things. So I kind of had to duplicate some things because mischievous Diego just had to mess with the plants when we were not home. And I went over budget by replacing some items by $30. I don't think I will have this problem in the future. The flowers are planted. They're doing great. Hopefully I can eat those vegetables this fall and stay in my grocery category. So I think I'll be okay next month. I'm sure I'm actually going to come under budget next month. We'll see how that category goes. Then my daycare, I somehow went over budget. I budgeted $200 towards daycare, but I actually spent $230. I think it was because I paid my little sister to babysit Skylar, my daughter, this month, and I didn't budget for that. And that was completely out of the ordinary, and so I'm not too happy about that. Next up is my kid, Skylar's category other than the daycare. So this is like the miscellaneous expense I was going to spend on her party. I budgeted $400 for my portion of her party, and I was exactly on budget. And how I did that was I just took out the cash. I created a budget. I took out the cash on what I was budgeting, and I told myself I was not spending a penny more than what I budgeted. If my husband wanted to, fine, which he did, but I wasn't spending over the $400. So that included party supplies, the rental place that we had her party, shoes, clothes, whatever. I was only budgeting $400. Next up is personal care. I budget $100 for personal care. That can include my nails, my hair, which I don't get my hair done often. I like to kind of do it myself just to save. I budgeted $100 and I actually came under budget. I only did $90. My thing there is I only get my eyebrows and my nails done pretty much once a month. I'm a low maintenance girl. I don't need a lot to look beautiful, so $90 was pretty much all. And I probably would have did even better if I did not. I got my eyebrows done this month. Once I got to Atlanta. Their prices are a lot higher than here in Cleveland. So I paid a little more. I did not know, but as long as I was under budget, I was okay. Next up was shopping. For Skylar's birthday and for Atlanta, I knew that I had to get a couple new pieces. In my shopping category, I believe included some things from Amazon for the house, etc. So I budgeted $350 for myself this month, and I was under budget. I only spent $300, which I'm very happy about that. Only $300 this month on shopping. Any miscellaneous shopping I kind of throw in this category. So shopping don't always include clothes, but I would probably say a good portion of that, probably about 70% of that, did include clothes for the Atlanta trip and Skylar's birthday. So utilities, I really saved here. I'm not sure how I saved, but I saved here. Utilities, I budgeted $250 and I only spent $70. I think I know why. Each month my husband, he puts, he covers most of our utilities. So he covered a good portion and I only had to pay $70. So that was excellent. Thanks, hubby. So next up is my good old student loans. Every month each month I set a goal for myself to pay $100 towards my student loan debt. That's a goal. I have to stick to that no matter what. Honestly, guys, I set my budget around obtaining that goal because I budget in order to achieve or reach my financial goals. So my goal was $1,000 and I did exactly that. In the past, I actually paid more, and that was more towards the beginning of the month. But during these summer months with the parties and the traveling, I'm just happy if I can just save $1,000. So I'm just gonna focus on the $1,000 and not add too much other extra pressure on myself. So I'm happy I got that done. Next up is gifts. I had some birthday parties that my daughter, my family, and we had to attend. I budgeted $80 and I actually went under budget. I only spent $25 in gifts. That's probably not good. That means that I didn't buy somebody a gift, and I know I did. And I still have to get a gift from my little brother, Tristan. But I'm going to get his gift this month in August. So I'm going to make sure I definitely add that to my August budget. Next up is saving. I had zero in my savings category, which is horrible. But with Skylar's birthday, the Atlanta trip, and all my other expenses, I knew this month was not going to be good for saving. I do make it a pride to save each month, but with the student loans and the traveling, I just could not accomplish that this month. And I feel horrible, but I'm going to make sure, and it has been a priority all the other months. I have my emergency fund already established. I have my 6 months of expense in case I lose my job or anything other happens to my family already established in an investment account. So emergency fund, my savings account is already good. I just still like to at least contribute $200. I didn't get to this month because of everything else, but I'm going to make sure I do that all the other months of this year. And lastly is my travel. Travel, I budgeted $1,000. And this category is up there because I had to pay for a lot of different expenses as it related to travel. But I will say I only spent exactly $1,000 on travel. So this included my my husband and I airfare. What else did this include? This included our rental car. And this includes entertainment and food inside of Atlanta. Atlanta has some of the most awesome food, and I was so proud that I got to experience that and experience it on budget. And I would say I was able to do this by using the cash method while traveling and making sure I kept my budget in the back of my head. If I can only spend a certain amount, this is all I have. And I kept telling myself that. And sometimes you have to tell yourself, this is what you have, and that's all you get. And that's exactly what I did. So overall, guys, I will admit to you that I went over budget this month. I had an awesome month. I am not going to make this a habit. I went over about $250, and I had to put the $250 on credit card because I ran out of cash. I could have reduced my trip to Atlanta by $200 or my daughter's party, but I didn't want them to not celebrate their life, celebrate their birthdays to the fullest. So I swiped my credit card to cover the rest of the expenses. And I'm going to make sure I pay that off next month. So next month you will see on my August budget a $250 credit card bill to make sure that I cover or finish paying off some of my July expenses. I also want to share one last thing. How I track my spending is through the Mint app. If you use your Savvy Girl Money budgeting sheet plus the Mint app, it can really save you so much time. And how I was able to do that, and I will elaborate in a future video, like kind of step by step on how to set that up, is I first wrote down my budget on my Savvy Girl Money budgeting sheet. Then I set up my Mint account to match my budget. So for example, if my student loans was $1,000, I made sure I set up my budget in Mint for $1,000 or $200 for groceries. My Mint budget was at $200. And then throughout the month, I was categorizing my expenses. So every time I swiped or every time I spent something or had to spend, I categorized it. So at the end of the month, which I literally just did like 3 minutes ago, I went to my Mint app and it gave me the totals of all of my categories. I love this. It saves so much time. So make sure you get the budgeting sheet from SavvyGirlMoney.com and download Mint. This is not an ad. I am not a sponsor. Hopefully they sponsor your girl in the future. But right now, I'm just giving you the tools and the resources I use to budget successfully. And I hope it helps you too. So guys, if you have not done so, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Instagram, and that's at SavvyGirlMoney. See you guys next week for a new video. Bye-bye. Bye.